Bitcoin is trading at around $99,000, and there's a lot of panic going on and a lot of people thinking that we're going to go lower. So in this video, I want to break down what I think is going on, what's going to happen next, and what you should be prepared for. So before I get into this, make sure you subscribe, smash the like button, turn on bell notifications, and share the video with a friend. Everything I say here is very time sensitive. Now, obviously, I made a video this morning, which we were basically about $103,000. Things look pretty bullish. Obviously, we had the government shutdown coming to an end last night, and the stock market basically just went just straight down, like right on market open. And basically what we've been seeing is this trend where pretty much like the Asian markets pump up Bitcoin and crypto, and right as soon as the bell opens for the US market, like at market open, you basically just see like down only for cryptocurrency, specifically with like altcoins. Bitcoin not so much, but obviously Bitcoin has been very, very underwhelming, and there's a lot of people that are just really scared with what's going on because obviously we have, in my opinion, a really bad outlook on the economy. We have basically just like no liquidity within the system, and Bitcoin is a asset that really needs to have liquidity in order for it to, increase in price and just have attention altogether. Because if the price action is boring, then nobody's going to want to be buying this. And realistically speaking, like most of the money has not been in crypto. Usually, it's just been like the same people just recycling the same money and just different narratives. And I think that it makes a lot of sense why everything is kind of happening this way. And I don't think that the cycle is necessarily over yet. Like I said, there's some levels that I want to look at and just kind of like reassess from there. But I think that in the short to midterm, I do think that there's going to be a lot of chop, consolidation, even like a downtrend even. And there's just like some very critical levels, in my opinion, that we want to hold. So the first one obviously is we need to have a weekly close above $98,000. And it's not good that we're hovering below $100,000. This is the first day in about 190 days where Bitcoin, for the first time, closed below $100,000. And sentiment-wise, that's going to be very bad. I think that that's going to create a lot of nervousness and panic in the market. So I wouldn't be surprised to see us go down. I could see us go down, easily to like $92,000 because there's a big CME gap there. And that's pretty much been a unfilled CME gap for months now at this point. And I think that that's a price target that would maybe shake more people out of their positions and just like really push on to that whole like hysteria of just like panic and just like, we're going so much lower. But when you really look at the liquidation levels and pretty much where like the whole sentiment is, it would make a lot of sense for me, like if I was a market maker, to basically make everybody think that the cycle was over before just like liquidating all of these short positions. Because just like they needed to liquidate all of the longs, the exchanges make most of their money liquidating traders or just off of fees with volume and all that kind of stuff, not necessarily on the price of the assets. So obviously Binance has been the biggest net seller. I think like it's like 80% of the selling has come directly from Binance. And I, I don't know why that could be. You guys can draw your own conclusions, but there's a lot of speculation that maybe they're helping people accumulate. Maybe they're just doing this to make as much money before some like positive and clear like legislation is just passed. It's really hard to kind of tell, right? And you never know. But again, I wouldn't be too concerned. And if I was somebody like them or somebody that had the power to move the markets, I would trick everybody out of their position while the big boys are loading up. And then when everybody is just like giving up, they're out of the market, they're shaking out, then you just send the price exponentially higher. You liquidate all the people that were shorts because you'd have to pay those people if they basically start taking profits, right? So there's kind of like a duality to this, if you will. And so again, I think that, it is possible we can go to, $90,000. I think that if we maintain a monthly structure above $75,000 even, we're still intact. Technical analysis wise on a bull cycle, if you want to really go like that way. But I really wouldn't want to wait that long for confirmation, right? I think that if we start getting a weekly close below $98,000, I think maybe you cut some of your positions there. And obviously that's not financial advice, but I think if we can break those levels definitively, I do think that we're going to go lower. And it may make sense in the scenario where you just end up trying to buy back more at a cheaper price. But right now it's kind of in no man's land. And I'm really realistically, like, I'm not doing much. I pretty much consolidated most of my risky crypto assets and all that kind of stuff. I pretty much put that all into either Bitcoin, Solana, some few others that I don't really want to mention just because, everything here is very risky. And basically that's the bearish side. Now on the bullish side, I do think that we've taken out a lot of people. I wouldn't be surprised to see us just turn around from here and we wake up tomorrow and we're back above $100,000. And if we can hit around $107,000, I think that if we can basically hit that level, we'll go probably shooting straight up to about 110, 111. And if we can turn that into support, that would be the market structure shift that we're kind of looking for, and basically put in a higher low. And then I think from there, if we can reclaim the 110 to 111 range, there we can maybe talk about going back to all-time highs. And I think that the cycle would still be intact. And I think that that's going to all come in pretty much a perfect time, because I think that we need to kind of resolve some issues with this whole government shutdown. Specifically, we have, like I said, we have very uncertain, macro data. We have bad inflation, kind of like still kind of a little bit sticky. We have, obviously the interest rate cuts. I think that that's like now 50-50 officially that we're going to even get a cut in December. I think if we can get through that hurdle, we'll be okay. We need a pretty much dovish Fed Jerome Powell to kind of like speak out and just give some like very dovish tones, which basically means like, okay, well, we're going to continue to look at this. We're going to end up printing money. We're going to go into quantitative easing. And I think that that's all going to happen. It's just going to take a little bit more time and a little bit more patience. So I really wouldn't try to do anything super risky right now. I would just sit on your hands if you're somebody that can just, ride the wave. Obviously, pick whatever investing strategy works the best for you. I can only tell you what I would do. Again, not financial advice. So yeah. Key levels to look at short term: $98,000. If we close weekly below that, bad. $107,000 to $110,000 Bitcoin, close above that, good. So with that being said, smash the like button, share the video with a friend, and ask me your crypto questions. I will continue to update you guys on what I'm seeing in the markets. I'll see y'all soon.